Hi, welcome. My name is Allison Rollins, and I am an owner of High Country Doulas, a full-service doula agency here serving in the North Carolina mountains as well as the mountains of Tennessee. We work with lots of families to support their needs during pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period. Our goal really is to make your time easier and smoother and to support your goals, whatever those may be. So our doula agency has many wonderful doulas, and a lot of those doulas are also postpartum doulas and postpartum placenta specialists. So they are trained by pro doula to be able to encapsulate your placenta for you if that's something that you choose. So tonight's webinar, Placenta Curious, we are going to talk about High Country Doulas postpartum placenta encapsulation service, answer your questions, talk about what placenta encapsulation is, why someone would choose to do this, our training to be able to provide you with this service, and how we process your placenta in your home. So tonight I'm going to give you sort of a brief overview of how the encapsulation process is done, why someone might choose to encapsulate their placenta, answer any questions that you have, and talk about frequently asked questions and anything extra that might come to mind. So welcome. Again, I'm Allison with High Country Doulas. I love helping support families to make a smoother transition into that postpartum period. And some women really want to use use placenta encapsulation as a way to support their recovery and their emotional and physical support after their baby's born. So let's talk. If you want to ask questions, there is a chat bar that you can use to type in any questions that you might have. We can always answer those at the end if that's well. If you're listening to this on the recording, feel free to ask any questions, send us an email. We have lots of emails from families who have questions. Check out our website at highcountrydoulas.com and send us an email at info@highcountrydoulas. We love hearing from you. We love to hear how placenta encapsulation has supported you in your postpartum period and how it's made the difference. I often have women who say it's one of the best decisions that they made. So I'm excited to be able to offer this to women who want it in a way that is as safe as possible. So if you're interested in considering placenta encapsulation as a part of your journey for your postpartum, we're going to let you know all of the ways that High Country Doula's service might be able to support you in that time. So let's talk about what is placenta encapsulation. The practice of it is that a mother is saving her placenta to be steamed, dried, and encapsulated into small pills that really don't smell or taste like anything, and they can be taken by mom. High Country Doulas uses the traditional Chinese medicine method, which is using the general process is included steaming the placenta prior to dehydration to kill any germs or bacteria that might be present. Really important part of our process. And additionally, the method is also designed to sort of balance the placenta in childbirth, so balancing that mom. Traditional Chinese medicine considers childbirth to be a huge loss of heat for the woman, and this placenta brings that heat back into the woman. We also will steam that placenta with a lemon and ginger, which can add to that warming element. All of this is then removed, and the placenta is dried for anywhere from 12 to 24 hours at 165 degrees. And then it is ground into small and placed in small capsules that the mom can take. So that's a little short synopsis of what it is. And then the most important thing is that why would I choose to do this? So why do some women choose to do this? It is really believed that the placenta restores sort of a hormone balance and optimal nutrition that is lost during childbirth back to the mother. Each placenta, every mom's placenta is tailored perfectly for that particular mom and baby, addressing their individual needs through pregnancy and postpartum. And it is thought that it's a perfect balance. A perfect balance. So thinking about that perfect balance of the mom and baby. Many mothers do report that ingesting one's placenta has decreased their susceptibility to baby blues, increased their breast milk production, decreased healing and bleeding time, and given mothers more energy and decreased their risk of postpartum depression. It is important to remember that there is very little scientific evidence on placenta encapsulation and placentophagy, which is the act of consuming your placenta. So most of this is from anecdotal evidence, so mothers self-reporting. Placenta capsules or tinctures have also been used to aid in hormonal fluctuations for menopause. Just something that people used to utilize that for later in their life. The tincturing has also been used for in traditional Chinese medicine for trauma. It is really interesting to note that nearly all mammals engage in consuming their placenta after birth, even herbivores. And a study was done really to kind of gain more understanding and knowledge and the reasons why this behavior persists in mammals. The study looked at nest cleaning, general hunger, nutritional and hormonal needs post-birth as possible reasons why mammals would do this. The study ruled out all theories except for the last, hormonal and nutritional needs after birth. If you want to, I can send you this research that was done and send you the connection to that. So feel free to email me. So let's talk a little bit more about how we as postpartum placenta specialists at High Country Doulas, we decided that one of the most important things that we could do is to help support a mom in her goals. And we found that a lot of women were wanting their placenta encapsulated. They had talked with other women who had had this done and felt really positive benefits from it. And we really wanted to supply women with the most safest way to do this. And so our team is trained through Pro Doula, which trains many doulas to be able to provide this service in the safest way possible. We also have training with bloodborne pathogens. We follow the protocols that the placenta stays with you, so it never leaves your hands. There's no contact with anybody else's germs in anybody else's home. So our training is really taking the most precautionary practices available for placenta encapsulation. And we really want to maintain that safety for all of the moms that we're working with. It's super important to us. If a mom has a provider who feels like that is just not a really safe thing for her to proceed with, then we are going to help support that mom in maybe choosing to have postpartum doula support instead of that placenta encapsulation because of her specific experience and her provider's concerns. So we're always walking kind of the steps with that birth team to help choose the best and safest way for that mom to proceed. So really the most important thing to know, if you want to find out more, send us an email. We can talk more about our trainings. We are trained through Pro Doula, And we do have a bloodborne pathogen training and follow World Health Organization's organ transport guidelines. So those guidelines require that I hold myself accountable to the standards that far exceed, I would say, the standards in the industry. And a couple of the most important things that we practice is the fact that you always have your placenta with you. You are always in charge of your placenta. You can be confident that the placenta is in fact yours, and and that you brought it there yourself. Also, we feel like we have a low risk of exposure by practicing that safely and also coming to you in your home to encapsulate yours. So ensuring that there's a very low risk of your placenta being exposed to any unfamiliar bacteria that might impede your postpartum recovery. I can really support you best when I am with you in your space. I'm also a postpartum doula and trained to be able to educate you and your family, support you in this really transitional time. I can offer information because I'm already there to help support and process your placenta. I can also say, stay completely out of the way if that is something that is desired. If you just want to have a quiet postpartum period, I can, and you want to feel safe to cocoon yourself, just do so. And I can still process your placenta quietly and respectfully. So if you want to see, some women are really interested in dads, are really interested in partners in kind of looking and watching that. I love to share about this organ that is amazing, that grows inside of you, that filters and supplies your baby with nourishment for all the while it's inside of you. And I love to share that. So all of our postpartum placenta specialists can talk through this with you so that you can understand the function of the placenta, the different parts of the placenta, and answer those questions if that's something that is interesting to you. So placenta is one of the first organs that is created when you're gestating your baby. It's sort of a barrier that filters out things that are not good for baby. It's kind of a gateway to baby too, and it is sort of that primary connection point for mom and baby. There's lots of wonderful other things we can share about it, but I want to share with you, how does the whole thing work? So first off, if you decide that that's something that you want to do, you're going to let your provider know that you intend to keep your placenta, and they're going to share with you how you can do that. You're also going to contract with us, and then we will get you our placenta transport kit that has all of the information and safety precautions that you need to take care of your placenta after the birth of your baby. And then you're going to connect with your placenta specialist, whether that's me or Liz Mitchell or Whitney or Chelsea. One of us will be there for you. You can keep your placenta cold in a cooler that we provide for you. And it really needs to be on ice by at least 3 or 4 hours after the birth. And then that ice needs to be rotated about every 4 hours. Oftentimes families will have a grandma take it to their home and put it in the refrigerator. You want to get that to the refrigerator as soon as possible, but you can utilize ice to help keep that placenta cool and viable. So once it's in the refrigerator, it can be stored in there up to 72 hours. And then beyond that, it needs to be frozen. All right. So the next thing you would want to do is schedule. So once you're home, we can come in and schedule. I will come over to your home, and you might be lounging and napping and snuggling with your baby. And I'm going to wash my hands. First off, I'm going to come in and wash my hands, and I'm going to clean any dishes that are in the sink. I'm going to clean with Lysol, and then I'm going to plastic wrap everything up. I'm also going to be wearing protective wear, just like I'm working with an organ, so I'm going to be very medical looking in that state. And I am going to wash the placenta and drain out the excess blood. I will also then steam the placenta with ginger and lemon. It has those warming properties. Once it's thoroughly steamed all the way through, then I will slice that placenta thinly and dehydrate it. I'll leave you there to nap and snuggle, and meanwhile your placenta will be dehydrating. It'll be sitting in a dehydrator for 12 hours, and then I'll come back the next day. So about 12 to 24 hours later, I'll come and I'll grind the placenta into a really fine powder and encapsulate it for you. And then I will leave you. I'll answer lots of questions. I will leave you with a pretty package of your placenta capsules and any add-ons that you might want, and we'll talk about those in a minute, as well as leaving you with the detailed guidelines for taking your placenta, the dosages and troubleshooting and anything like that. And I'll answer any questions that you might have about postpartum. You might have questions about sleep. You may be a first-time parent. You may have a lot of nursing questions. So I'm going to answer those and try to help you as best I can. So both of those 2 visits to your home will take about 2 hours each. And I think that many of our moms really have said things like having their placenta encapsulated was one of the best decisions that they had ever made for themselves. We don't know if that's going to be the right choice for you. You have to make that decision on your own. But High Country Doulas is here to supply you with a safe and reliable service if you choose to do that. Now I want to share with you a little bit about our add-ons. So we do have a couple of add-ons that you can choose. We do placenta prints. So the placenta on the fetal side creates this lovely tree that's called the tree of life. And we can use watercolor paper to create a print for you. Some families like to frame that. Some families will then add different paintings and different things to that. If you're an artist, that might be something that's really, you're really interested in. We also do what's called a placenta tincture. So placenta tincturing just is ready at about 6 weeks after the encapsulation process. But it lasts forever because it is tinctured in a gluten-free alcohol. A lot of people utilize the tincturing so that they can use it beyond. Some women use it for menopause or other hormonal related issues that they're having. We love to be able to provide these add-ons to families who are really interested in that. Otherwise, you can just have your placenta capsules for your support. So a lot of women who are interested in placenta encapsulation have heard it through another friend who've used it to support them in their postpartum period and had wonderful successes with it. A lot of people ask us, is placenta encapsulation a safeguard against postpartum depression? And the shortest, most honest answer is maybe. There's no real conclusive evidence, scientific studies to this effect. The current studies really look at placenta consumption for lactation and for reasons beyond this mammal behavior. There's lots and lots of anecdotal evidence to suggest that it does support hormonal change. We know that after birth, a woman goes through a huge hormonal change. What took 9 months to create is suddenly gone, and the body begins to radically transition from being pregnant to being as empty as well as nursing. So all of those changes are tremendous on the woman. So in traditional Chinese medicine, the placenta is used to women experiencing menopausal symptoms or even for young adolescents. Some baby blues is normal aspect of the postpartum. And part of the process it's part of the process of kind of becoming a mother. Those feelings cannot be bypassed, however. Depression and anxiety, irrational fears that begin or persist beyond week 3 postpartum are classified as postpartum depression or postpartum mood disorders. They should be mentioned to a care provider. At High Country Doulas, we are aware and can listen and help you to decide if you're having those beyond what's just the normal baby blues. We have tools that we can help you to take a look at how you're feeling, answer some questions, and really be able to reach out to a qualified care provider to be able to get you support that you need, however that looks, and get you better. So many women really have self-reported that they believe ingesting their placenta helps them to balance their moods. Sometimes just that, supplying that extra thing to put in your favor to have a successful postpartum period is what a lot of women choose. Occasionally you might have friends or family who are very unsupporting in this. And this is a very personal decision for somebody, just like it's a personal decision to be able to choose who you are for your provider and what type of birth that you want to have and how you want to parent and if you want to breastfeed or bottle feed. Those are decisions that only you get to make. And you may have some judgment within that, but if you feel that that is the journey that is where you need to head and how you need to be supported, just like that choice to choose your provider, it's an important one, and you don't make that without really thinking things through. So we are there to support you with this service if that's what you need. We're also available to support you with labor doula support and postpartum doula support and breastfeeding support. Any type of thing that is a sleep support for newborns. So there's lots of different things that doulas can do. We do that in a non-judgmental way, meaning that it's not our choice. Your goals are really our goals. We don't come in with any specific philosophy that we're going to follow. We're always going to listen to you and to support you in whatever you decide is best for you and your baby. It's been really wonderful sharing with you tonight about placenta encapsulation and the services that we provide here at High Country Doulas. I really love to be able to support mom in whatever way she needs. So I'm here to answer questions for you if you have any other questions. We have lots of wonderful people who provide this service at High Country Doulas, and we'd be happy to share more about it. So reach out to us. You can call us at 828-278-8949, or you can email us at info@highcountrydoulas.com. You can also Facebook message us, however it feels right for you. Thank you so much for being with us for the Placenta Curious webinar. If there's anybody who has a question, I'll feel free and email you about that. But otherwise, I'm going to say bye. It was wonderful chatting with you. Everybody be well. Bye-bye.